All right, now to our morning business report. A landmark trial over claims that Meta's platforms have harmed youth mental health is underway right now.
And most families rely on one parent to plan their meals. Channel 3's Jane King, live at the New York Stock Exchange with those stories and more.
We can relate, Jane.
Oh, absolutely. So, in fact, 8 in 10 American households say one parent pretty much runs the whole meal planning operation. So, the survey of 2,000 parents of school-age children found 82% have a default dining manager, so to speak, who handles all the planning, the shopping, the cooking. This was commissioned by Every Plate and conducted by Talker Research. And the survey found moms are the most likely to hold that title. Well, it just got a bit cheaper to buy a home. Mortgage rates edged down this week, snapping 6-week streak of gains. The average 30-year mortgage rate fell to 6.67%. That's according to Freddie Mac data. The combination of the weakening job market and inflation that wasn't too scary this week kept those interest rates at bay. And jury selection also began this week against Meta, that this trial is alleging harms to young people. Now, the actual trial is set to begin on Tuesday. Meta denies wrongdoing in this case that centers on social media giants' alleged harm to minors, calling allegations made by 29 state attorneys general unsubstantiated. Now, Connecticut's Attorney General William Tong joined a broad coalition of states suing the company over allegations that its platforms use addictive features to harm the mental health of children. And as of August 1st, there were 3,000 cases filed in all kinds of different courts against the major social media companies. Well, the S&P 500 closed at a new record yesterday. Also, the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, said the U.S. will begin applying economic measures that have never been seen on Iran. Pretty quiet this morning, kind of typical for a Friday in August. Live from the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Back to you.